Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in the history of science, was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. His family wasn't wealthy, and his early years were not filled with signs of the extraordinary genius he would later become famous for. In fact, many of his teachers thought he would never amount to much. But Albert's journey was far from ordinary. Albert's childhood was filled with curiosity. He loved asking questions about the world around him. When he was only 5 years old, his father gave him a simple pocket compass. Albert was fascinated by the way the needle always pointed north, no matter how he turned the compass. He could not understand why this happened, but the experience left a deep impression on him. From that moment, he became obsessed with understanding how things worked. This fascination with the laws of nature would later shape his entire career. At school, Albert was a quiet, thoughtful child. He didn't always get along with his teachers. He was not interested in memorizing facts and figures like most of the other students. Instead, he preferred to explore ideas, to ask why and how. His teachers often described him as a troublemaker, but this was because he thought differently. While many children his age were out playing, Albert was lost in his thoughts and books. His mind was always working, trying to understand the mysteries of the universe. Despite struggling in some subjects, Albert excelled in mathematics and physics. He was deeply interested in these subjects, often reading books on them outside of his schoolwork. When he was in high school, he moved to a new school in Munich. However, his rebellious nature continued to create conflict with his teachers. At the age of 15, Albert dropped out of school and moved to Switzerland to attend the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. At the Polytechnic, Einstein's mind finally found a place where it could thrive. He immersed himself in physics and mathematics and soon became known for his unique way of thinking. While many of his classmates followed traditional methods of study, Albert wasn't satisfied with just learning what others had discovered. He wanted to know more. He wanted to solve the mysteries that had eluded mankind for centuries. After graduation, Albert found a job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. Though the work was not related to his scientific interests, it gave him the time and freedom to continue thinking about the questions that fascinated him. While working in the office, Einstein wrote papers that would later revolutionize the world of science. 1905, the year he published 4 papers that changed everything, is often referred to as his annus mirabilis, or miracle year. The first of these papers introduced the theory of special relativity, which fundamentally changed the way we understand time and space. Until then, scientists had believed that time and space were fixed and unchanging. Einstein, however, proposed that time and space are not absolute. They are flexible and can be affected by speed. According to his theory, as an object moves faster and faster, time slows down for it, and space contracts. This idea was mind-blowing because it contradicted centuries of scientific thinking. One of the most famous results of Einstein's special relativity is his equation, E equals mc(t). This equation shows that energy and mass are interchangeable. It means that a small amount of matter can be turned into an enormous amount of energy. This discovery would later play a key role in the development of nuclear energy and weapons, but in 1905, it was a radical and groundbreaking idea. In addition to special relativity, Albert's other papers that year addressed the nature of light, the photoelectric effect, and the movement of particles. His work on the photoelectric effect earned him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. The photoelectric effect demonstrated that light could behave as both a particle and a wave, an idea that laid the foundation for the field of quantum mechanics. However, Einstein's work didn't stop with special relativity. In 1915, he published his general theory of relativity, which is even more revolutionary than his first theory. While special relativity dealt with objects moving at constant speeds, general relativity looked at objects moving under the influence of gravity. Einstein proposed that gravity is not a force between masses, as Isaac Newton had thought, but rather a bending of space and time caused by mass. Imagine a rubber sheet with a heavy ball placed in the middle. The ball causes the sheet to bend, and if you roll a smaller ball on the sheet, it will move toward the larger ball due to the bending of the sheet. In a similar way, planets and stars bend the fabric of space and time, and this bending causes objects to move toward them, which we experience as gravity. This theory was confirmed in 1919 when scientists observed the bending of starlight around the sun during a solar eclipse, providing one of the first pieces of experimental evidence for general relativity. Einstein's general theory of relativity didn't just explain gravity, it also led to new ideas about the structure of the universe. It suggested that the universe might not be static, but rather expanding. At the time, many scientists believed that the universe was unchanging, but Einstein's theory opened the door for new ideas about the cosmos. Though Einstein's theories were widely respected, they were also controversial. Many physicists had difficulty accepting some of his ideas, particularly the idea that the universe was not fixed and that time and space could be altered. But Einstein's persistence paid off, and over the following decades, his work became accepted as one of the pillars of modern physics. Albert Einstein didn't just stop with relativity and quantum mechanics. He spent much of his later years working on trying to unite all the forces of nature into one theory, something that physicists today are still trying to do. Though he never succeeded in this quest, his work on relativity laid the groundwork for future discoveries in cosmology and quantum theory. Einstein's life was also marked by his personal values. He was deeply concerned about social issues, including the rise of fascism in Europe. As a pacifist, he spoke out against war and was an advocate for civil rights, speaking out on behalf of oppressed peoples around the world. He was particularly vocal about racism in the United States and stood up for the rights of African Americans during the civil rights movement. His belief in peace, freedom, and justice made him a respected figure beyond the scientific community. In 1933, with the rise of Adolf Hitler in Germany, Einstein, who was Jewish, moved to the United States. He took a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, where he continued his work until his death in 1955. Despite his fame and success, Albert Einstein remained a humble man, always focused on the search for knowledge and the pursuit of truth. Albert Einstein's impact on the world is immeasurable. His theories revolutionized physics and our understanding of the universe. Today, his ideas continue to shape the world of science and technology. Engineers, physicists, and even astronauts rely on his theories every day to navigate the challenges of space exploration and technology. Einstein's equation E=mc2 continues to be one of the most famous equations in science, representing the link between matter and energy. But Einstein's legacy is not just in his discoveries. His story teaches us the importance of curiosity, creativity, and perseverance. Albert Einstein faced many challenges in his life, from struggling in school to dealing with personal losses, but he never gave up on his dreams of understanding the universe. His work reminds us that even when we encounter obstacles, the key to success is to keep asking questions and seeking answers. What can we learn from Albert? Albert Einstein's life teaches us that learning is a lifelong journey. No matter where we start, our curiosity and determination can lead to great things. Whether we are studying science, art, or any other field, the most important thing is to stay curious, think critically, and never stop learning. Are you inspired by Albert Einstein's story? Start your own journey of discovery today. Watch more stories like this to improve your English listening skills. Practice asking questions in English to improve your speaking skills. Write your thoughts about Einstein in the comments. What did you learn from his story? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep learning amazing stories in English. Together, let's keep discovering and growing, just like Albert did.